Hello. So this is my week 3 discussion video 2. And in this, I am thinking on the article that had been posted in one of our required readings by Roland Barthes when talking about mythologies. One thing that struck out to me was his discussion on the semiology of myth making. I just think about all the things that really make a myth a myth. I really think in order to have a good myth, you have to create the atmosphere. It's kind of like with a movie or a book, you want to set the scene in a way that makes the person feel like they're actually there. Put that person on the edge of their seat. And I think that a really good myth does that for people. You kind of want to help the person that's hearing the myth identify with it to a level that it hits them in a emotional, personal way, something that makes it believable. And in order for something to be believable, I would think that you would have to put a lot of detail into it. I think a lot about, I guess, a story that my grandma had told me growing up. We had a mountain that was around Sallisaw, Oklahoma, and she used to tell us the story of the headless woman of Cubby Mountain, or Cubby Hill. So that story always terrified me as a little kid, because she would tell us, kind of the background behind the woman, how she ended up dying on Cubby Hill and lost her head. And she'd say, if you're driving around the mountain at night and you see this fog, this mist, and that's when the woman appears, and you want to close your eyes and hide in the back seat and not look out the window because you might see the headless woman on Cubby Hill. And just the way my grandma would tell it, that's probably not all the story, but just the way that she would, tell the story made you, sit on the edge of your seat, and it made you really scared, to not ever look out the window when you're driving up that way, which we drove up there a lot as kids at nighttime, because a lot of my aunts lived on the other side of Cubby Hill. And then another thing is, Cubby Hill wasn't even really a hill. It was just kind of some random hill that was over there, and I think now they call it Wild Horse Mountain. So I think a lot of times she just told us that story just to kind of keep us in line when we were driving somewhere at night. So I think myths do that as well. They're just kind of more cautionary tales, tales that sometimes people have told their children in the past to kind of keep them behaving well. So I think that as far as the semiology behind that, you want to add some passion and detail into those stories to make them more believable, to really get a person thinking about the myth. I guess my question for this week would be, what are some things that you would think really draw you into a myth and make it believable for you? Thank you.